Sylvia, if I can just reverse to the comments early on, it feels as though this week there's been real detail from the US side about incursions, invasions, about the language and what sort of response would be provoked from NATO and its allies.
And that's one of the reasons why today's meeting between Blinken and his Russian counterpart is so important. And you mentioned there, the Russian ambassador to the EU told me yesterday that he is hoping that Blinken will not arrive at this meeting empty-handed. Russia is seeking that written statement to its demands. So let's see whether or not that will take place. But indeed, the tensions are pretty high. Nobody is denying that. And one of the themes that we have been assessing within this context throughout the week is the EU's position. We've heard Germany saying and asking Russia to return to the negotiating table under the Normandy format. So that would bring together Germany, France, Russia, and Ukraine. Earlier this week, when I spoke with Ukrainian ambassador to the EU, he said that Ukraine is keen to do that, to follow that format, but Russia is not delivering on previous commitments. And so I asked about that to the Russian ambassador to the EU to hear the other side of the story. And he said that it's actually Ukraine that is not following previous commitments. Let's take a look.
We are prepared to return to Normandy format, to return to any format. But when people commit themselves to something and then fail to deliver, it's pointless to continue talking to them.
Now, President Biden said last night that he expects, actually, Russia to invade Ukraine. Is he wrong?
Well, I don't see why he may have such thoughts, because there is no evidence pointing to that.
So that's not your aim?
No, certainly not.
And I would like to understand as well the picture at the moment, because there has been some sort of conflict between Russia and Ukraine for 7 years now. But the situation seems to be getting worse recently. Why is that?
Well, because, Russia has been very patient, first negotiating the Minsk agreements with the then president and with the participation of the European Union, of Germany and France, which later became the Normandy format. Those agreements, they were approved by the UN Security Council unanimously. So they form part of the of international law today. And everybody concedes that they are the only plausible basis for a solution of the Ukrainian problem, of the Ukrainian crisis. We expect those Western countries that have, I would say, substantial leverage on Kiev, European countries and the United States, of course, to produce necessary pressure on Kiev to deliver on its own commitments. Also, we believe that it is very unhelpful to continue pumping weapons into Ukraine, which some countries are doing.
So having spoken with a representative from Ukraine, another from the EU, and more recently another one from Russia, I can tell you that it feels that both sides of this equation are worlds apart, and it really seems really hard to find a compromise anytime soon. But let's see what will come out of today's meeting between Blinken and the Foreign Affairs Minister of Russia, Mr. Lavrov, to see whether or not these tensions will be eased. From the European and Ukrainian side, they're still hoping that a diplomatic solution will be found. And from Russia, at least you heard there from the Russian ambassador, they're not closing the door to further talks at this point in time.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.